Hello.
Hey,
How's it going?
pretty good. Making a lot of progress in painting our house. We have almost none of the old color still visible, which is a good sign.
Nice. Are you painting the inside of it or the outside?
This is the outside.
Nice.
We painted most of the inside before we moved in, but we still got some repainting to do inside. We'll do that in the winter.
Nice. That's exciting.
It is, yeah. It's everybody's having to give different directions now. They can no longer say the blue and yellow house. They'll have to say the blue and cream house
Oh,
with the purple doors.
that'll be fun. Well, that's exciting. It's always nice to complete projects.
Yeah, we're getting close. We've been cautious about scraping the siding because there's probably lead paint underneath.
Oh, yeah.
We had to replace one windowsill, which, well, we have to replace several windowsills, but we tried the first one and that was a challenge.
Yeah.
Windowsills are challenging. How have you been?
What was that?
Have you been well?
I have, yeah. Yeah, last week we went camping, so we missed the meeting, but that was a lot of fun and totally worth it. But other than that, just trying to catch up on work and stay steady with school and everything. So,
Did you catch anything?
camping?
You were fishing too, right?
Oh, he was fishing before and after. Went on a couple fishing trips, but we went up the Umpqua when we went camping, and there's no, at least the creek that we're at, there's no fishing there. So
Yeah. Yeah, we're lining up to do a camping trip pretty soon.
yeah, it's totally worth it this time of year.
We have a canoe, so we'll probably camp by a lake.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Somebody gave it to us, so we feel obliged to use it.
Oh, even better.
The Travis who comes on the call sometimes, is that Travis Kerr?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. There's 2 or 3 Travises posted.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
How are you?
Yeah.
Good, how are you doing?
Good. I decided to cut golf a little early and show my face. It's hot out there.
Awesome. Well, we're lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. I've had a couple beers, but you know, what the heck. Whew, it's so hot. No one's melted yet?
Not quite.
Oh, hi, Travis.
How's your pizza, Travis? Good.
Really good.
What'd you end up getting?
The chorizo.
Well, that's the one I got.
Ooh.
Yeah, so good.
It's so good. What, that he was an asshole? Okay. What's up, everybody? Why are you worried about that?
Chris?
Hi, Steven. Hi, Christy. Hi, Ian. Hi, Travis. I feel like, hi, Angie. I don't know. Did you guys ever watch Captain Kangaroo? Captain Kangaroo, when he'd look in the mirror and he would see everybody. And we won't talk about the Bill Cosby part of Captain Kangaroo, but the other part was pretty cool. Oh, will you put the dogs downstairs, please?
I was more of a Mr. Rogers girl myself.
I love Mr. Rogers. I love Captain Kangaroo too. I don't know why. wholesome.
He was a weird dude.
He was a weird dude.
Yeah.
Green jeans.
What's up, Travis?
Hi,
Are you
Travis.
Blair Alley? Oh, different background. Oh, okay. I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
I recognize it far
It's a
too
green.
much.
It's a green screen.
Oh, it's a green screen. 7:02. I'll give it a few minutes. So technically, I'll just start talking if y'all don't mind. Technically, this is our board meeting. Annika is going to, not tonight, but Annika is going to have to go back to make sure, because all of our meetings are now archived on video. So before we can vote on them, I want to make sure that all the board members. I'm so sorry.
You could have gone back and fixed it.
We're live
I
on
don't
video.
care.
Okay. Okay. So thank you for putting the dogs downstairs. So what we'll do is go back, not tonight, like I said, and figure out what part of our meeting minutes that we have to vote on to put into our record, even though they are all on video. So I figured that we wouldn't do that tonight, but that is part of, I guess, the nuts and bolts of some of these meetings that we have to do. Hi, Brad. I like your haircut. You're on here. Let's unmute you.
No, you don't unmute people.
I'm
They
not
can
doing.
unmute themselves. Otherwise, you get an unmute war.
Ooh. I'm not getting an unmute. For
No, you're not.
I'm not doing- Hi, Thea. I was just saying how cute you look, Brad, with that haircut.
Yeah, but it's been weeks, man. Where you been? You missed everything.
Apparently, I've been vacating. I'm back at work now, so I'm, still gainfully employed. But dude,
That's
once
a
in a
shame.
lifetime opportunity to have 7 weeks off, 50 days off work, paid for by the government. It was awesome. I loved it. Went fishing and camping and shooting and all those other
rubbing it in all our faces.
No,
after we
no.
finish.
You know what? I'm so sorry I did that. When I went back to work, everybody was like, "Did you miss us?" And I was like, I didn't even remember y'all." No, I'm not rubbing your face. I'm just saying I'm such a blessed human being that I'm so.
Yeah. Now get that nose back on the grindstone and pay for our Medicare.
Oh shit. Medicare for all. Medicare for all.
Yeah, for everybody.
Yeah.
Charge it twice.
I don't know what we're gonna have to do to get Biden to legalize marijuana, healthcare for all, abolish student debt, and make all schools for free. I mean, it seems like an easy platform to get the rest of America behind you. But I don't know.
I don't think we have to set the bar that high. Just
Dude,
getting the stormtroopers out of our cities would be kind of a start.
man, I can't wait till the Bundys get here. I'm gonna have to join up with those Bundys now. That's nuts. The Bundys and the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
Actually, just
Are
to
they
defund
together
the
now?
police. Just defund the police. There is
I mean,
a
some-
marriage of convenience.
I remember when we were talking about this is, dude, once you get two movements like that together, unstoppable. But oh well, we won't talk politics. We are a bipartisan group. We are accepting of everyone.
Wait, I thought we hated everyone.
We
I
hate.
gotta.
We only want to house you, make sure you get food, make sure that no one's racist, misogynistic, sexist, everything against you. But yeah, we hate you.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
Thea. So let's dispense with this is a board meeting, and welcome everyone to our weekly meetings. Sometime in the future, I kind of wanted to gauge everyone's kind of level of participation if we wanted to drop down from a once a week meeting. It's up to all of us, or if people still want to meet, we could still have the meeting up, but all of us might not be here. But just,
Well, someone has to host it. WCC has to host it every
well, we could,
Thursday.
yeah, we could, Annika could host it. She's here. Great. No, I'm just teasing. But we'll figure something out. But something to think about. I really like getting together, even though I haven't seen you guys in 2 weeks. I really like getting together with you
Yeah.
once a week. But it is something that I've been feeling like maybe it's too much of an intrusion to everyone's lives. Because what it does is it almost requires you, at a certain time. So it's completely up to you. Just start thinking about it. Katie, go ahead.
This isn't the board meeting. We had the board meeting last week without you.
We did. Isn't this the third?
I have it in my notes.
Oh,
No, but no, this is the fourth.
It's fourth.
oh, okay. Well, I was wrong.
So there, everybody gets to say whatever they want.
There's
Uh-oh.
Bob.
But before I would start talking about not having meetings, I think we're going to go back on lockdown. I think we're going back to level 1, and people will be sitting at home wondering what they could do with
Okay.
themselves.
That sounds good. So, Margaret, did you listen to Kate Brown's?
Yes, I did.
Did you? Okay, because I was talking to Thea about that. I didn't have time to listen to it today. So the mask ordinance that's going to come out, when does that
Yes.
start? Do you know?
I believe it starts Friday. And basically what she said is that now it's down to children that are 5 years old and older. Pretty much it's any time that you're around people that you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Inside, outside, doesn't matter. We're going basically back to phase 1 from what I heard. They're closing restaurants and bars again at 10 o'clock. And they've also put the capacity, no matter how large, oh, sorry about that, Chris. No matter how large the restaurant is, you cannot have more than 100 people. It was up to 250 for some large restaurants.
Restaurants or stores?
They didn't really specify restaurants
I'm
or
thinking
stores. They
Costco,
just,
grocery store.
I think it's anything, but that's just my interpretation.
So that's Friday.
Yeah.
Huh.
And next, I'm going to tell you, they've already closed down Los Angeles. They closed down San Diego today, yesterday, San Francisco. It's coming. Our numbers are going up.
So, and at the end of this week, the $600 supplement to the unemployment is gone.
Well, they're highly looking at that too, for extending it.
Interesting.
Not
Well,
less.
So round 2.
Can I answer your question? I thought about. I don't mind it once a week, but keeping it down to an hour, if we stay at once a week, I think is a lot more manageable, and it gives people the opportunity to kind of maybe show up one week and like have more options, but without less of a demand each time. Or, but that's just. I mean, if we keep doing it every week, I would like to see it go down.
Yeah.
An hour.
The only reason I wanted to bring this up is I just feel like it's a lot for everyone right now. So if it's a resource for you, good. It is for me. But if not, hi Susan. But okay, so just moving on, Margaret.
I'm sorry. On Wednesdays for me is Wine, Women, and Wednesday, and it's golf. And now it happens every Wednesday, and I get to go outside, and it's all the wine you could drink.
So it's a good Wednesday for you.
It's
all
a
right.
good Wednesday.
I like it. All right, we got Margaret for.
That's why you haven't
Wednesday.
seen me, because I've gotten home late.
Hi Susan. I thought you cut your hair off, Margaret.
I did. It grows fast. So what was your yet another question?
Oh, I was going to say, was there anything else from your take?
5 years old. Now kids down to 5 years old have to wear a mask. And she did say, I will tell you on a personal note, I mean, I know you went out of town and you went camping. I went to the coast. I just went to Yachats over the weekend, and I'm telling you, there were people, bumper to bumper traffic all the way up. Nobody had masks on. The little Hobbit beach, all of that down 101, and they were all out of state plates. She did talk about making a quarantine for people that are coming from out of state. 14 days, sorry, you have to quarantine yourself or you're not welcome. There were things along those lines.
Yeah, that'll impact the tourist industry with the hotels, especially along the coast. Luckily, we were in Umpqua Forest and we saw less than 20 cars. It was awesome.
In Yachats, it was bumper to bumper people.
Yeah.
But it was also like 100 degrees where we're at.
Yeah, it's
versus,
pretty
like
hot out.
escaping to the coast.
So, all right. So that's something that maybe we, as a collective, should probably get the skinny on and put out on our official Whitaker Community Council page. The other thing I wanted to bring up, Ian, did you had some information that you wanted to share?
Yeah, so on the WCC Board of Directors page, there's a Google document that Brad got us started with of all of the camping sites in the Whitaker. So both sanctioned, permanent supportive shelters, such as the Mission, temporary shelters, such as the micro sites, and then unsanctioned shelters. So Ted from Jefferson Westside Neighbors is kind of leading this effort and the advocacy work around the 4 policy recommendations that I talked about last week. And if anyone has a chance to review those, Ted's taken all that information up until this weekend so he can kind of condense it down and reach out to the city about which neighborhoods are bearing the burden and how we can more equitably distribute that across the board. I'm no longer involved in the advocacy for the policy recommendations. It doesn't mean that I don't believe them then any less. It's just I'm not involved in that effort anymore. But you can see what they look like online on the board of directors page. And if anyone doesn't have access to them, I can just give them access to the Google Doc if you reach out to me in the Zoom chat.
Can I ask why you're not involved?
What's up?
Can I ask why you're not involved?
Oh, I don't really agree with Ted's approach.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Enough said.
Yep, totally.
Are you able to send those through?
I'm not.
Oh, okay. So I think only Susan, oh, there's Tara, and Angie would not have access to the page, possibly.
So are you able to share this in the chat? That might be a way to do it, Ian.
Sure, I'll put that in the chat right now. If you give me just a second or two.
Of course.
Of course.
Thank you, Ian. I really do appreciate that.
That way people don't have to go fishing for them if they want to look at them real quick.
Yeah, and then Chris,
Hi,
you asked me, hi Tara, did you bring ice cream sandwiches for everyone? Chris, I reached out to Ted, and that parcel of land that's owned by the city, Jefferson Westside is trying to convert that into permanent supportive housing. But Ted, I think, is going to reach out to you. He's trying to have more collaboration between chairs. So that's
the city. The city property. They want to do something on the city property.
Yeah, they've been trying to do stuff on it for the last 10 years. Jefferson Westside Neighbors, but I don't think they've been successful at it. So I think it's a really great site for a micro shelter site. But they need to be pressed on that. Jefferson Westside does.
You know, there's actually either it's a Dust to Dawn site or not a Dust to Dawn, where they have 5 trailers. They have RVs over there, which they're already running. Go ahead, Thea. I'm sorry.
That's a car camp that St. Vinny's runs.
That's it, St. Vincent. Okay.
And then I have numbers from the mission that I will add to your thing, Ian.
Thanks, Thea. I put the link in the chat, so everyone
Thanks
should
so
be able
much,
to
Ian.
their comment to it.
Thea?
the mission is housing 198, and I'll add these in, and then they had 35 new guests. So those were the people that they were trying to house that had been vetted. They took those on in a new wing, and then the community shelters, people have 6, and the veterans camp on the site has 8 people. And that's it. And how far out are we going on unsanctioned camps?
Hey, Brad, could you talk about that a little bit, since you were the person who did the most work on it?
I think we should include all, I mean, I did a walk around today and there's like, oh my God. I mean, just north of the mission, there's about 75 people rough camping. And there's about half that many throughout the rest of the neighborhood that I could see. But I think we should include all of that. Our people who are in unsanctioned camps are more than the rest of the city has in everything.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Do we want the spotted camps in the rest of the city, or do we just want Whitaker?
I think we should include the stuff on our border. So, you know, all the way to Ferry Street Bridge and the stuff that's just on the other side of Chambers. But I would leave it up to the other neighborhoods to do the stuff that's more in the heart of their neighborhood, what little they have. You know, River Road has a little bit of stuff on the river. There's a little bit of stuff up on the other bike path on the East Bank. But, you know, most of it's around us.
I was over by Beltline and River Road just on Sunday. There must be 20 people camped out, just right there on the freeway.
Next to the
Just FYI.
Yeah.
I bike quite a bit, and along the strip that actually I found out belongs to the state of Oregon, between Valley River Inn and the Ferry Street Bridge, there are lots of fairly permanent camping arrangements there along the river.
ODOT, anything that ODOT owns, they have a no move order. So
Oh, they do?
Yeah, so a lot of people are starting to move into areas that ODOT move because they know that they won't move them. Unless it's drug, alcohol, any illegal activity, EPD will go in and move them. Or health hazards. So
it's not considered a health hazard to be camping along the river?
It is considered a health hazard to be camping along the river. So parks and open space, if you go to their page.
I already contacted the park people, and I was told to go to my state senator, which I wrote a letter to Nancy Nathanson, and I asked her who to talk to at ODOT, because it's a health disaster over there.
Yeah, and the last time Susan and I wrote Willamette River Keepers.
Oh, okay.
Because they got on it.
Okay. Do you are they on? I'll just look them up online.
Yeah, and I can see if I have their email while we're on. If it's on this side of the river, Parks and Open Space will deal with it.
It's on
side,
yeah.
It's EPD.
It's definitely, after talking to the people at City of Eugene Parks, I was told it's state land. It belongs to the state, and the city does not do anything about it. But yeah, I'd like to communicate with those people. Thank you.
I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you.
So, you know, this might be something that we've all been thinking about also, is during this upcoming time of potential lockdown, what is the city's plans for the houseless community? Because from what I have gathered through conversations or walks or everything else is they don't have a plan right now for the people that are already unhoused. So sheltering in these places that are unsanitary, that are by the river, that are really difficult. I mean, should we be asking these questions? Like, when we go to this new shelter in place, if this happens, the people that are living in these unsanitary camps, one, we're not going to be able to service them, you know, because they're probably remote enough that that's why they haven't been discovered. But it's not doing these people any good, you know, by not providing some form of service. So I'm a little concerned with our upcoming new COVID regulations that we're going to have a lot of people that are already here in the Whitaker that have been dispersed from Washington Jefferson Park, that have been dispersed from the area that was near the fairgrounds on whatever streets it were. I mean, there's a lot of people in these environments, you know, and there's no plan. I mean, there's no plan for sanitation. There's no plan for housing. There's no plan for medical care. I'm a little concerned, you know. We're not going to have the fairgrounds open back up to house people. That was pretty apparent from, I mean, Ian, Thea, would you guys say safely that they're not going to open the fairgrounds back up?
No, they're going to use it to watch movies like a drive-in.
Oh, yeah. Which I didn't know, which was really, really interesting because we kept trying to push for that place to open back up, but no one told us it was going to be used. I mean,
that was horrible, I thought.
I mean, I don't know. Who knows if it's even going to work with our new restrictions, but I don't know. That's something for the future. I didn't have an agenda for the evening. Ian had a couple things and Thea did too. Does anyone have anything that they would like to discuss? Hold on, Stephen?
I want to make sure I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. My background is linguistics, and after Megan came to the meeting several weeks ago to talk about a name change for the neighborhood, and after Katie posted the poll on Facebook, I've started doing linguistic research. A friend of mine who works at University of Oregon introduced me recently to the steward of the UO Longhouse, and somebody else will be introducing me to the steward of the LCC Longhouse. And this is kind of linguistic research, trying to find out what this area might have been called way back when, before us Europeans arrived. And I want to make sure I'm not stepping on anybody's toes by flailing around in this particular area.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. That is great. And yeah, your social capital is going to do the neighborhood. Wait, I can't do that anymore. Your social capital is going to do us wonders. I'm really thankful for that. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that it didn't step on Ian's toes because Ian had mentioned the Longhouse in a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I will continue with that and I'll give you periodic reports on my findings.
Cool. Thea, did you have any information from your interactions with Mr. Skinner?
Yeah,
Chief Skinner?
Stephen, I can also connect you with the lady that sent me an email that was interested in getting the name change going. I've forgotten her name. I don't see her face on here. But I might not.
Megan.
Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, I spoke to Chief Skinner yesterday. And I talked to him about the trafficking of the young women and boys that we're seeing, especially over on Railroad He's supposed to get back with me what street crimes is working on with that. They're still dealing with protests. So a lot of the protests are happening at city councilors' houses now. So, but they're trying to get back into getting into the illegal behavior. So we'll see what happens. I told them it wasn't okay. And I also told them to look at the Whitaker Neighbors open Facebook page for information to help them catch some of these guys. So.
Yes, speaking of that, I think everyone has seen the post maybe about the gentleman who was leaving.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Go ahead, Anna. I'm sorry.
No, somebody asked if the WC knew about this and what we were doing, and I said that we would talk about it today. So, I mean, I know that the other Margaret has set some recommendations, and it sounds like for the most part they have it taken care of. But is there anything else that we want to do as a board, or that we can do to address this creepy dude?
Can you explain to everyone what it is?
Chris, that's you.
Oh, so on our board page, we had someone who had posted a picture of some books, some children's books. And then it had a caption about a gentleman who is looking at the children or the books or both with binoculars or spying them out. It's some creepy shit. It was also reported that it was done in other parks too. These posts are still up. If people wanted to look at them on the Whitaker Neighbors open page. The follow through was the police have been contacted. But it's something that we should all be aware of. You know, it doesn't seem as if this is a harmless grandpa trying to do good for children type of thing. It's really predatory, and it's pretty fucked. I mean, like, seriously. They're not wanting people to confront the person. That is one of the things, but you can read it in the post.
Well, yeah, I can.
Okay. Well, what we can do is we can try to summarize some things for people, but it's just something to be aware of whenever you are in one of our local parks.
Keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out for some children's books that have been left in a conspicuous location. It isn't as innocent as it may sound. What would probably be the best thing is to document where you found them, and maybe take them with you. But having them documented either with a picture first, and then we can, do something with it. Maybe we could go through Thea and send some pictures to Chief Skinner.
I will text him directly. Do we have a description of the gentleman?
I don't think we do. That was going to be the next thing that I was just thinking of, is if we could keep an eye out for this guy, and maybe if some people want to just make a point to drive by on their way home, or just stop to see if he's out there, who's at Sladden Park.
Yeah, so I contacted Katie, I'm Kathy, sorry, a board member about this, and she actually hasn't seen anything yet, but I'm hoping with her and some of her neighbors, we can figure something out, because something's weird. This is not okay. It's not like a free book kiosk for people to go to. It's
no, it was bait.
Yeah, it's bait. Yeah, and it's predatory. So I don't want to dwell on that too much, but I also want us all to be aware of this. And in your social circles, please make everyone aware of it, especially people with children too. It sounds harmless to go up to a book, but something is not right here. And if I'm wrong, then fine, it's all my fault. But
you're not wrong.
I don't think so. I think something's fucked up. I really do. But okay.
Yeah. I had one more update I forgot.
What's that?
So Chief Skinner did try to put some bathrooms and trash cans around where some of the camps were. It wasn't in our neighborhood, it was in other neighborhoods, and he got tons of crap for trying to help out. And they were removed. So.
Well,
it's-
you know, and just to
one person
say,
says they want them gone and the other person wants them to stay. So.
and think of it with us too. I mean, all of our bathrooms that we have tried our hardest to help people. We have put them in, and we continue to fail. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to do something different or new, or somebody's going to come up with something that's going to work. You know, all of these small little failures are just fine tuning us to help this neighborhood. I don't know how, but I think with all of our effort. Does anyone have anything else? I'm sorry, I keep thinking I'm hearing myself talk constantly. Okay, thank you.
Yes. At the last meeting, we were talking about how to target the other demographic of the 18 to 29 asymptomatic carriers, and I said I would speak to my daughter and her friends. That's my daughter in the background there. Her name's Katie. Hi. And I just said, come to the meeting and tell them what you guys have all been discussing. I don't know if you're frozen. I'm probably frozen. They can hear us, but the screen keeps freezing.
So I reached out to a lot of people my age, and I got kind of a mixed amount of stuff. There's definitely a mix of people being like, well, everyone knows about it. Some people just don't care, which I've definitely seen in my age group. But I did also see a large amount of people that did want more information. Some of the ways they thought about going about that was, one potential someone brought up was that kids my age don't like not being social. We were raised in a very social generation. And so it's very difficult to stay away from people when that's what we're so used to. And so someone had brought up the idea of some kind of like an event, like a summertime event, fundraiser, something where we could have people come, like local bands play music, and have people talk about their experiences that they've witnessed about COVID, or just what they've learned about it, how our community is facing it, that kind of stuff.
Modeling the correct behavior.
How to model the correct behavior, how to kind of keep away from people while still being social, that kind of stuff. And then a kind of opposite idea of having people still be further away from each other but still knowing about it is that the Lane County Event Center, I believe actually this week, is starting to host drive-in movies. So their thought is if you could pair with the drive-in theater and have some kind of ad run before the movie, or have people take surveys to possibly win like admittance tickets to the movies, that kind of thing, just so that they have a way to learn about it and check out cool local events at the same time.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are very helpful.
Yeah, I always thought like having an event and like your admittance is that you have to wear a hula hoop around you. And so everybody's wearing a hula hoop, and that's like how you distance. So it makes it like something fun instead of,
I love that.
Yeah, and then me and my mom know someone who would potentially be able to rent out free like PA system equipment for said kind of event. And then that's a great idea. Admittance being like you have to wear a mask and a hula hoop and like some kind of to it, just so people can stay distanced but still be social and have fun and see people.
It just feels like we're not going to get people to stop being social. We're animals. But there has to be a new normal. There just has to be. Okay. And it was my sneaky way to get her to come to the meeting.
There was stuff that I wanted to bring up. It's just not important stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I don't know. I keep thinking
Hey.
about how we could do something like that in the Whitaker too, because that's a really good idea in itself. But is that something that we could do just in the Whitaker as well? Like, I know Andrew's been having his movie nights. Could we do something like that at a park and have people social distance?
Yep.
No.
So, on this, Tim Lewis, our local neighborhood historian, wanted to do a Whitaker Tales in Scobert Park. Out demons, Ian. Out. But yeah, I think this would, I mean, you know, are we going to be able to meet in person? No. Are we going to be able to bring people together? I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Well, Black Unity had a movie at Slavin Park.
Oh, I know.
2 weeks ago.
But that doesn't make it
that's the thing
right.
is,
No,
you know,
no, and I think with things tightening down, it's kind of questionable. We should encourage it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I mean,
well, one thing we do have is we have 10 sandwich boards that if somebody or any of us wanted to take responsibility of a few of them, we put the messages out, you put the boards out, bring them back in, this, that, and the other. We have 10 that can be used throughout our community.
but if the question is how do we address or how do we reach sort of the younger generation that seems to also be causing this, how do we apply the sandwich boards to sending that message?
Why don't somebody do a TikTok? So Christy, why doesn't your daughter do a TikTok for the Whitaker Community Council?
What is TikTok?
It's the new kind of social media platform. Unfortunately, I do have one.
Old
and I
you.
have other friends that have them.
All of them.
Not all of them, but a good amount.
Mhm.
And it does actually seem a pretty effective way. There is actually, the TikTok community is full of people telling everyone around the world to keep
Young.
Yeah, young people.
What is it, like an old AOL chat room or something?
No,
I mean,
just
It's just really short videos. So it's people